Very disciplined.
Papa, are you watching this? Excuse me, Thank you.
Alright, what's good? What's happening? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the final episode of Psychoanalyse Me. Once again, my name is Leon. I'm going to be your host for today, and this is the show where we check out somebody's social media profile, we analyze their social media profile, and we try to see whether the person is truly who they are on social media, or is there more to it? Okay, and today, of course, I'm joined by the very professional, very beautiful, very lovely. I've run out of adjectives already. She is none other than Dr. Annabelle. Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Annabelle. I'm a clinical psychologist at Annabelle Psychology and Annabelle Kids.
This final episode is going to be very interesting because we have a very, I have to say it like four times, young individual joining us here today. So maybe if she wishes to engage your services, she has to go to Annabelle Kids.
Not that young, she's legal.
Anyways, today's episode, we're going to be using, of course, the Big 5 personality theory test to check out our very special guest, Ellie. Let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Instagram.
She looks like one of those models on those huge screens in Changi Airport at the departure, you know, when you are going to go into the departure gate.
Yes. By the way, if you got additional bottles, can give me,
Us.
Us. Sorry, yes, us.
Very bubbly.
Very bubbly. Got a bright smile. But once again, sayang, my girlfriend is the most beautiful and most gorgeous and the brightest smile in my life.
She's like a fashionista.
Let's check out her TikTok. You can
She can sing.
You can sing.
Wow,
All I'm saying is Bruno Mars hasn't responded to this.
Maybe she needs to tag Bruno Mars.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet since then. That's all I'm saying. I feel she's very detail-oriented because she even talk about the shade of the lipstick.
Oh, not bad.
Talks about a Korean actor while using, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Sulwasu brand is Korean.
Yes.
Okay, so based on her social media profile, right? How do you feel Ellie is as an individual?
Young, lots of energy, very bubbly, very friendly, very energetic. So I think openness to experiences seems like definitely quite high. Conscientiousness, we say, is quite high too, because she also had to practice the dance, she had to practice the music, and even the attention to detail when you mentioned about the makeup and that Cha Eun-woo. So I think she's very comfortable expressing herself. And a lot of her work is kind of in line with professionally, like when she did the Pepsi or the YSL and all that.
She basically portrays a very positive image on social media.
Yes. So I'm guessing she is sensitive to people judging her. So neuroticism will be high. And I think that she can get quite anxious. And if you tie that to her conscientiousness, she'll work very hard to produce good results in what she does.
So the dutiful part, 16 and above, probably. It is time. Okay, let's bring in our very special guest. Let's bring in Ellie.
Hello, I'm Ellie Teo. I'm 19, turning 20 this year, and I am a full-time student doing pharmaceutical science. And I'm also part-timing as a model and a content creator and singer.
When you were elsewhere, we were talking behind your back and we were guessing what your personality was. Okay, so Dr. Annabelle, could you run us through what you assume her personality to be based on her TikTok and Instagram pages?
I think that you are someone who is very open to new experience. And now that I hear you introduce yourself, you're studying pharmaceutical science in the lab. But she's singing, she's modeling, she's doing content creation, openness to new experiences.
I do agree with that point, yeah. I'm quite open to trying new things.
So conscientiousness.
I want to guess that she's very organized because of her social media profile. The room looks decent, but she pops. She's like ups. So she got a lot of media job. Popular, very up there. So the product job will clutter her space. That's my assumption.
I do have a space in my room where I put my media jobs, but then I also have organizers.
We are very curious about the results, okay? It's time to find out whether dutifulness is going to be above 16 as well, okay?
Yeah.
So in order to find out, we have to let Ellie take the test, and here we go.
Overindulge. This one. Oh, so I rarely have addictions, basically. Oh, okay. Theoretical discussion. What's up? Welcome back.
There you go. That's testament to her extroversion off the roof. So you're highly, highly extroverted, extremely friendly, see, extremely gregarious. So you find being with people very stimulating and rewarding. You actually love people, you love being around them. You see, assertiveness is high too, so you have no problem saying hi to people and also drawing boundaries or asking for things or saying no. So activity level means you're constantly doing something. Like you don't like to be bored.
I like hustling. I like to keep myself like productive.
Hey, what is this? Why is that so low? What is that?
Neuroticism. So neuroticism is very low. So in terms of self-consciousness, contrary to what I'm saying, actually it's very low.
So you're okay with the haters?
Yeah.
You're okay with the people making noise?
Like I've grown to accept the fact that you're about to meet people that will like you and you're about to meet people that won't.
Openness to experience,
Yes.
she's actually quite high, which is what you're sharing, like try, just go for it. All your guests have high in imagination.
Delusional.
Huh?
We are delusional.
No, so when we talk about openness to experience, it's about being fun, about being creative. It's a lot of like imagination and creativity. So it's like a blank canvas and you can do whatever you want. Emotionality, she's very aware of your own feelings. So very, very healthy there. It also looks like in terms of trusting people, you're quite careful in a sense where you don't just naturally trust someone or you think that everybody cannot be trusted. But you're quite neutral in the sense that you read the signs and you gather more information before you make a decision. So that's quite balanced. And not only that, she has morals and principles where she needs to live out her values.
It's also very real in a sense.
Yeah.
Dutifulness, I failed. I thought it was going to
Okay,
be
very
16 and
close,
above.
very close. So you generally have strong moral obligations. So if you believe that it's important to kind of produce a certain quality of work, then you will actually work very hard to produce that. So conscientiousness is very high, so how diligent you are, how orderly you are. Actually, orderliness is high, actually consistent, neutral to high. It sounds like you've got some organized mess.
In my head it's organized, but when other people see my room, they're like, what's going on?
So Ellie, do you agree with every single one of these metrics, or is there any of the metrics that you have any doubts or questions about?
I think all of them were quite accurate actually. But because I'm remembering like what you guys first said, did it catch you off guard? Like the results?
Or the neuroticism, well, slower. Yeah.
No, because I think it's important for us to understand that social media doesn't always reflect who we are as a person, and we haven't really interacted with you very much, if at all. It's really raw hypothesis, and also we didn't even go through enough posts, so it's really a very raw like guess.
But you're quite accurate though. That's so interesting.
So if we are that accurate about knowing her personality, right, and through the test as well, right, if she did not do modeling, singing, social media, what other career paths do you think it would fit her?
Her results are showing that she's not scared of hard work. She's also very imaginative, very creative. She's also this whole burst of energy. So I would imagine that careers that allow you to move around a lot, things that require you to express your emotions, very emotive, very gregarious, a people job.
I do agree with that. I feel like because I grew up being an only child, I had a hard time understanding like or appreciating alone time. Yeah, so I feel like that's why I grew up to be so extroverted. To try new things also.
I think she brought up a really important point because childhood does affect personality. Remember in our earlier episodes, we were talking about how many factors affect personality, and childhood experiences is one of them. I think this is an example.
And on that note, we have come close to the end of the episode already. So as you can see, right, social media is a decent representation of somebody's personality, as we can see from previous episode and as well from our very bubbly special guest here today as well. But of course, it doesn't paint the entire picture of somebody's personality. You have to get to know them in person in order to find out a little bit more about them. Okay, so once again, my name is Leon. It has been a fantastic pleasure to be your host for this fantastic series as well, okay, known as Psychoanalyse Me. See y'all soon.
Bye.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed this episode of Psychoanalyse Me, remember to like,
Share.
Subscribe!
see ya!
Bye!
Bye!
Done.
She doesn't eat coffee.